Exchanges are starting to merge AGIX and Ocean into FET. Phase 1 has started or is going in full steam. Let me know in the comments, have your Ocean and AGIX already been merged into FET on the exchange? And with that, hand in hand goes a lot more interest that's coming up for the ASI Alliance. As we can also see by quite a few partnerships, the most important one, I will not talk about all of them, but the most important one probably is Filecoin partnership, which is a very, very interesting one. And we'll talk about that as well as other news and everything that has to do with AI and AGI development as every week. And guys, I have a fan running right next to me because it's extremely, extremely hot in here. Please let me know if you can hear that, because if you can hear that, I'll turn it off. So let me know if you can hear that. If not, I'll let it run. But if you can hear that, please let me know and I'll turn it off. But it's very, very, very hot in here. Good. Anyway, with that being said, if you have any complaints about the fan running next to me, let me know in the chat and let's get into it. So starting with the exchanges, swapping AGIX and Ocean into FET. So Crypto.com, for example, is one of the exchanges. I have had my AGIX on Crypto.com. Now it's FET. It already says ASI Alliance in the Crypto.com app, so that's pretty cool. But as you can see here, yes, Crypto.com has swapped Ocean and AGIX to FET. And FET has also been renamed to Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. So yeah, phase 1 is going currently, and hopefully we are soon coming to phase 2. Now, again, phase 1 is mainly for exchanges, so you don't really have to do anything right now. If you have your tokens in your self-custody wallet, you don't have to do anything. Just keep them there. And once phase 2 starts, you can go to the SingularityDAO Dapp, and then you can swap your tokens, AGIX, Ocean, FET, to the ASI token. I still get questions about this almost every day in the comments on my X. And so I'll say it again and again and again. No, right now you don't have to do anything. If you hold your tokens on a ledger, on any cold wallet, on a Trezor, on any hot wallet, on MetaMask, on Trust Wallet, whatever wallet you have, you will need to interact with the SingularityDAO Dapp. There you can swap your tokens, AGIX, Ocean, FET to ASI once phase 2 starts. I don't know how to explain this simpler. I think this is what I say all the time. Still, I know I will get comments on this video asking me, what do I have to do if I hold my tokens in my wallet? This is what you have to do, okay? If you hold your tokens in your own personal wallet, you, once phase 2 starts, go to the SingularityDAO Dapp, and there you can swap your AGIX, your FET, and your Ocean to ASI. Not yet, once phase 2 starts. So I know I will get comments. Please let me know, how can I explain this simpler? I don't know how to make this clearer. This is what you'll have to do once phase 2 starts. All right. Good. With that being said, I hope this is finally clear now. And let's get into the next thing here, which is this. I wanted to mention this because I think it's quite cool. Maybe some of you have seen this, but there was an AMA on Binance with all the founders here, with Humayan Sheikh, with Ben Goertzel, with Bruce Pon. And Fetch AI states here that over 52,000 live viewers are currently watching the most recent ASI AMA hosted by Binance. 52,000 are watching live, and this makes me incredibly bullish. I have watched this interview as well, the AMA. I can tell you nothing really new, right? We don't need to look into that. There's nothing really new they are saying in there. But 52,000 people watching it live, not even counted everybody who watches this later, makes me incredibly bullish and shows that there's a lot of interest in the ASI merger, in the ASI token. And yeah, I predict a very, very bullish bull run. And by the way, we'll get to that later and to the Bitcoin update. We are not in a bull run yet, okay? we are not really in a bull run yet. I mean, you could argue, since we are out of the depths of the bear market, since we have been at the lowest point, everything behind that lowest point or beyond that lowest point is bull run. But we are not really in a full phase bull run yet, okay? That's yet about to happen. And we'll also look at why Bitcoin dropping so much actually makes me quite bullish. But we'll do that later. All right. Good. Moving on here. And I wanted to look at this with you, and I want your opinion on this. Do you like this new design? So we now have, and they've been working on this for quite a while, the new marketing, right? The colors, the design, and everything for the ASI Alliance. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? I think it looks pretty clean, like with the white and the green, and I kind of like the symbol here, right? The symbol, but I am not sure if I like the overall design that much, to be honest. I'm not so sure. I mean, yeah, it looks clean. It doesn't look bad, but I'm not sure if I'm that much of a fan of all of that. Actually, let me make a poll here and let me see what you think. What do you think about the ASI Alliance? What do you say? Colors, branding. I love it. I hate it. All right, 42. But let me know what you think. Stupid options I gave there because I neither love it nor hate it, but I would say I hate it more than I love it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't hate it, right? But I definitely also don't love it. It looks okay. I mean, the white looks very clean, and with the green, but I am not sure if I am that much of a fan, to be honest. And since a few more people joining, I have a fan running right next to me because it's extremely hot in here. If the fan is too loud, if that makes any noise for you, please let me know in the chat and I will turn it off. All right. So yeah, again, I'm not sure if I love it or hate it. I am torn. I am indifferent. Right now, I would say I rather don't like it that much. I like some elements of it. I appreciate that it looks very clean, very neat, but overall, I'm not that big of a fan. All right, let me know your opinion in the poll. Let's get going here. It's not the most important topic of today, but I'm always interested to hear what you say about that. And I really like this one here. Here, the ASI Alliance made a post where they talk a little bit more about Ocean, the Ocean predictor model. And I feel like Ocean comes a little bit short on this channel. What do you think? I talk a lot about AGIX, right? Obviously, Hyperon. I talk also about FET, but I don't talk that much about Ocean. So let's go through this here. By the way, I have a dedicated Ocean video coming up for you in a couple of weeks. So yeah, the ASI Alliance world-to-world models. Prediction is intelligence. Starting with Ocean Protocol, Predictor, the ASI Alliance will use aggressive blockchain incentives to create the world's ultimate time series prediction machine, one of world dynamics, a world model. And this is pretty interesting and actually pretty cool for the development of further AGI. So as you can see here, Predictor by itself is already very successful. Predictor has highly promising traction, starting from 0 volume on mainnet launch October 2023, but it was launched October 2023. That's nothing. That's what is that? 9 months. 9 months, not even a year old. Has grown to 30 million a day and 900 million a volume of 900 million a month, right? And this was in April. So that's pretty impressive how much Predictor has grown, and it really shows the potential of Predictor. And right now, it's really just predicting token prices of cryptocurrencies, and it's bound to become so much more. Ocean is going to grow this to 20,000 DeFi feeds at some weather feeds, precipitation, temperature, pressure, then grow to millions of weather feeds. Ocean will layer in auxiliary feeds too, such as energy and logistics. And maybe you don't grasp the significance of all of this, but right now you have token price prediction, okay? But then we're going to add weather feeds, which gives us real-world application, and then also logistics, which is even more real-world application and energy usage. This is freaking amazing real-world application and extremely, extremely good when it comes to AGI development, these prediction world-to-world models. So they also further talk about this down here. This will take us to world-to-world models. As the weather feeds relate to each other in spatial dimensions, there will be gains in accuracy and cost to train a single model across feeds. This model will continually ingest the physics of the world to predict its next state, right? And predicting the next state of the world, right? Prediction is a very human-like feature, not necessarily human animals, not all, but some animals, of course, as well. Means you can come up with a plan of what to do and prepare for that. This is all what prediction entails, and something very important when it comes to AGI development. So it will be a world model on ground truth physics. Ocean will give it all the training data that current LLMs take. The net result will be a model with vastly more data than current LLMs, and ground truth physics in all that additional data. Prediction is intelligence. This predictor endgame, this is predictor's endgame. Fittingly, it is one of the build ASI streams. So yeah, and thinking even beyond that, right? Weather prediction, logistics prediction, energy predictions, you could think of all kinds of predictions if it's fed with the right data that this AI model could and then use to make statements and plans about the future, which would be very, very interesting. All right. And as you know, as always, any questions about the ASI Alliance, about the upcoming merger, let me know in the comments. Let's move on here to this tweet from Ben Goertzel, which I found very, very interesting, which is about the questions, can LLMs turn into AGI? Can LLMs become AGI systems? So yeah, as it says here, can LLMs be somehow continuously morphed into an open-ended human AGI system? Then the answer is no. Suppose one asked an AI agent A to iteratively radically transform, i.e. to replace its cognitive algorithm with something that will likely produce results surprising to any agent B that is first trained on the same history as A. So the other agent B is trained on the same history as A, and second, has an algorithm strongly biased toward matching new problems against problems that it has seen before, which is what LLMs do, right? LLMs are always pattern matching. What is in their data, and they are matching against that. So this agent A is now asked to program itself further and develop itself further so that it reaches a state that it would be surprising to agent B what it has become. So the only way for an LLM-driven system not to do lamely at this will be to heroically rewrite its own code to make itself no longer LLM-driven, right? Because an LLM works by comparing everything to its old data. It cannot come up with something innovative or something new. Whereas a Hyperon system, or for that matter, a detailed human brain simulation, would have capability to embark upon trajectories of iterated radical transformation, morphing itself through perps with many errors and extraordinary weirdness along the way. That's normal, that's to be expected, but it still could morph itself into a series of different forms genuinely comprehensible to their predecessors. And the main ingredient for that is Meta, because Meta, the programming language, can rewrite itself, which is just freaking amazing for AGI development. So individuation and self-transcendence are the two key characteristics of an open-ended intelligence. And if you don't know what an open-ended intelligence is, which is, I think, one of the most important properties a developing AGI system should have, I would recommend you watch my video about what is AGI, what even is AGI. I have made a video about this where I go more in depth. But yeah, I found this very, very interesting thought. And yeah, if you tell an LLM, hey, develop yourself further, so your AGI, it would not be an LLM anymore. So that's very interesting to me. And now let's look at the Filecoin SingularityNet or Filecoin ASI partnership, which I think is a very, very cool, interesting partnership. So I think most of you know Filecoin, right? Filecoin is basically a storage layer. Decentralized storage. That's basically what Filecoin is. And as you know, for developing AGI, there probably would need to be a lot of storage. Of course, we have decentralized compute, but we also need storage, especially when we are talking about something like long-term memory of a developing AGI system. So when we go in here, SingularityNet and Filecoin Foundation have announced a collaborative partnership. The partnership will also establish an AI ethics working group to ensure that AI development and deployment adhere to ethical practices. And I love that, because everything the ASI Alliance or SingularityNet in particular is doing is always focused around ethics, which is something that we definitely need more of in the development of AI systems. So yeah, the more interesting short-term goals are metadata storage, and then midterm goals include integrating Filecoin's technology stack into SingularityNet to improve security and support the infrastructure of AI-generated data storage. So long-term memory, basically. In the long term, the partnership aims to use Filecoin to manage knowledge graphs, an element essential to SingularityNet's knowledge layer initiative. Now, knowledge graphs are basically what Hyperon is built upon. If you don't know what that means, watch my video about Hyperon. It's too much to explain that here in short. And also, I would need to watch my video again to explain it properly. When questioned if Filecoin would join the ASI Alliance, that was very interesting. So this is Ben Goertzel. Ben Goertzel said, in the world of crypto, anything is possible. But there's no specific announcement we want to make in that regard right now. Okay, this is not a denial or anything. That sounds very interesting for me. And I can see how the ASI Alliance attracts many, many other projects that are just perfectly aligned with it. Like Filecoin, decentralized storage is perfectly aligned with the ASI Alliance and what they are doing. And projects who actually have a decentralized vision of freedom, which is the foundation of blockchain, right? Blockchain's vision, why blockchain was invented by Satoshi Nakamoto, was decentralization and freedom and putting power back into the hands of the people. And I can see that projects who are aligned with the ASI Alliance and who are aligned with that vision would maybe join the ASI Alliance at one point. So this makes me, this hypes me up a little bit, to be honest. Like Filecoin joining the ASI Alliance would be pretty cool. But very, very cool collaboration. And yeah, I'm very, very bullish on that. I love it. And now let me have a quick look at the chat. Want to check out Gary Network once, buddy. It's a Web3 streaming platform on Solana, so I'm a little interested. Could check once, buddy. No, maybe later, but I don't really like to look into projects that I didn't look into beforehand. Just like, nothing against you, but you never know what people are promoting here. So before I show anything on the live stream, I like to look into it myself first. And in saying that, a Web3 streaming platform on Solana, I really don't like Solana. Right? I mean, I like that I can make money with Solana and with Solana projects, but in terms of what crypto stands for, in terms of decentralization and in terms of freedom and in terms of putting power back into the hands of the people, I am really, really, really not a fan of Solana, and I really dislike Solana, I have to say. So I write it down, Gary Network, I write that down in my notes. Gary Network Solana, and I'll have a look at it. And maybe I'll talk about it on my next live, but not right now, because again, I want to vet these things first. Nothing against you or anything, but you never know what kind of things people here promote. So yeah, I want to be rather careful with these things. And again, Solana, not my cup of tea. If you would have said Cardano, then yes, I would have jumped into that. And let's talk about this for a second, because one thing that we maybe want to realize here, and I have not pulled up a story. I wanted to pull up a story, I forgot it, but then let's talk about it here right now. With the next Cardano update, Cardano is really becoming the crypto champion of decentralization and community governance, which is amazing and which is exactly the vision of crypto and which is what we all want, but which unfortunately also is why it's very, very unattractive for institutional investors. And this is why Cardano maybe seems a bit boring to some of you and doesn't really get off the ground. But I know that my audience is smarter than that and have the big picture and the long-term vision in mind. And Cardano really is the blockchain when it comes, or the answer when it comes to decentralized big tech companies. Cardano is the answer to that, because Cardano is the blockchain that follows the vision of freedom, decentralization, and democratized governance the closest. And that's why I really, really love Cardano. Again, it may not be the most exciting and not the greatest projects are going on there. And this is exactly why, because they are doing what they are doing, because this makes them very, very uninteresting for institutional investors, because institutional investors like Solana, for example, because Solana is not that decentralized. It's more centralized. So institutional investors can, take more control over that and plan better and things like that. And this is exactly why Cardano is basically the blockchain of the people, okay? So just in case you are here right now hyped up and yes, Solana bullish and let's go to the moon and say, Cardano boring, BS, I don't like that because there's nothing going on. Well, the exact reason why that is the way it is because Cardano actually follows a decentralized vision of freedom and democracy, okay? Which is what we all want here. So I want you to always keep that in mind. And Cardano might be at one point, quote unquote, the last stance of democratic blockchain development and the last blockchain that is not taken over by institutions. So yeah, always keep that in mind. Good. But talking about decentralization, let's jump into our next story here, which is this article here, why decentralized AI is gaining steam. And it is gaining steam a lot. So you could argue that the stakes of decentralized AI are higher than the stakes of decentralized finance. In some ways, the principles are the same. Satoshi Nakamoto was wary of centralized financial institutions that acted badly and jeopardized people's money. As AI becomes a greater part of our lives, and that feels inevitable, it will have the power to shape how we see the world, how we interact with the world, and how we present to the world. It could shape how we think. Should this be controlled by the billionaire du jour? Well, I don't think so. The next frontier of Gen AI is likely the rise of AI agents, which can do things like book your flight, pay your phone bill, or invest your money in stocks. Right? Hey Siri, go ahead and put 1,000 in the S&P. And now, do we really want big tech to control not just our data, but also what we do with that? Right? It's likely that millions of people will someday use AI chatbots as coaches or even therapists, And think about that, what that would mean if big tech controls all of that. Millions of people will share their innermost thoughts, longings, fears, sexual desires, confessions, and embarrassments. And this is going on right now, right? This is going on already. Think about it. Was there one thing that falls into that category that you already talked about with a chatbot, with an AI chatbot? What is the most sensitive thing that you talked about with ChatGPT? Let's think about that for a moment. What is the most sensitive thing that you talked about with ChatGPT? And now tell me, do you want big tech to know about that and to have that stored on their servers? Do we want the sliced and diced by Zuckerberg and co? The decentralized and privacy-preserving tech of blockchain potentially could give us the fruits of AI without the poison of big tech, right? And this is another strong reason why we need decentralization. All right. Jumping into the next thing here, which is creative processes and AGI, how AI mimics human creativity. Now, creativity is an interesting and important topic when it comes to the development of AI and especially AGI systems, because as this article argues, and what we'll dive into, is that right now AI systems basically just mimic human creativity. Yeah, it maybe looks creative, but it's really just what comes out of the algorithms based on data sets. It's not really creative in a sense that we would understand it. But creativity is definitely something that is needed for the development of actual AGI. So let's jump into a few things here. Creativity is a remarkable facet of intelligence, enabling us to generate novel ideas, solve complex problems, and express ourselves in art, literature, and innovation. While AI's performance in creativity tests might suggest it rivals human creativity, this does not mean AI is becoming genuinely creative in the human sense. AI's success in such tests usually stems from its proficiency in pattern recognition, information retrieval, and optimization. Human creativity, especially in fields like music, poetry, and literature, has consistently challenged traditional norms and showcased an innovative spirit. AI, however, operates based on data. While it understands language and the input we give it, does it truly possess the creativity to craft original content? AI cannot replace human creativity. It merely replicates it by drawing from existing works. So how AI creativity works is that it looks at the data that it has, and then it combines that together. Now, you could argue that humans also do that to some degree, but humans can have something new, innovative. AI cannot really do that. What AI is doing is not based on a creativity as we understand it, combined with innovation as humans. So generative AI does not have an imagination. It can only recognize patterns. Generative AI is only as good as the data it's trained on. Unlike humans, AI cannot truly understand or interpret the meaning behind data. It generates content based on statistical patterns learned during training. AI lacks contextual understanding. AI lacks that emotional depth. AI cannot think outside the box, right? And these are all issues that generative AI currently has, and why the creativity that generative AI exhibits cannot be compared with human creativity. So generative AI algorithms are advancing in the creative field, but they still fall short of replicating the complexity and diversity of human thought. AI cannot understand context, emotions, personal experiences, and spontaneity, which are crucial for true creativity. As a result, fears that AI will replace human workers in creativity fields are premature. And this will really not happen anytime soon. Now, it's amazing and it's great and fun to play around with when you can create images with AI, when you can create music with AI, but it's still very, very far from what actual humans can come up with. Now, I love that I can create images with AI. This is something I wouldn't have been able to do before, for my thumbnails, for example. It still would be better if a human person would do that, because I can do it much faster and fine-tune aspects much more easy that I want in my thumbnails. I have to go through quite some iterations sometimes with Midjourney, but it's still amazing that I now have the tools to do that, right? It kind of democratizes the ability to work with these things, which is also something that we talked about last live stream, but it still doesn't really replace humans, because it's just not at that level. It's not really, this human touch is just missing, right? Especially when it comes to picture creation, the human can do this better, faster, more adhere to what you actually want, right? Can do more specifics. When you want to make it with AI, it's really a shot and hope, right? You shoot your prompt out there and hope that the right result comes, and you refine and hope that the right result comes, and you refine further and further and further, and there will always be some elements and some things that you don't really like about that. It doesn't happen with a human designer. And when it comes to music creation, I love what Suno is doing, and I love how easy it is to create really good sounding songs. But would I listen to these songs? Would I chill at the river, drink a beer, and listen to AI music? No. No. Right? Would you? Would you? Maybe at one point it's there, but it's definitely not there yet. Let me know. Would you chill at the river, drink a beer, cocktail, or whatever, and listen to AI music? Or go into a club and then dance to AI music, right? I don't see that happening, at least not anytime soon. But who knows? Who knows? Let's see. As of now, I don't think AI can replace human artists in any way, shape, or form, because AI creativity is just too basic, right? It's very creative, it's great, but it's still missing, it's still lacking. Let's see what happens when we have AGI at one point. Good. But talking about decentralized AI and AGI development, one thing I want to share with you and I want to ask you, first of all, have you seen this video here? The AI power struggle, big tech versus the people. This is maybe arguably one of the most important videos that I have ever made. If you have not seen it, please, after this live stream, go there and watch this. I rarely ask these things of this, but right now I say this because, in my opinion, this video is probably one of the most important videos I have made, because it illustrates why the centralized AI development of big tech companies is an issue, and how decentralized AI development, what it can do against that. Watch it, and then I would ask of you, and I would highly appreciate if you could share that. And I have never asked it, but I asked this, but I would really appreciate if you could share this video here, because I believe it's really important video. It's a really important message, and more people need to be aware of the dangers and issues of centralized AI development, and that there's this alternative solution, that there's something we can actually do against that, about that, where we can take power back, where we can democratize everything, and where we can actually strive together and work together towards a better future for all of humanity. And while doing so, even be rewarded with tokens, which is just an additional great thing, right? So this is why, if you have someone who is not that much into the topic or who loves centralized AI, this is a video to send to them. This is a video you should send that person to show them, hey, this is why centralized AI is a problem. So yeah, I would highly appreciate if you could go over there, if you would watch the video, and then share it with anyone you know. Because if you are a viewer of the stream, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, I don't have to tell you why this is so important that we get this right. Decentralized development over centralized development. Okay, good. But enough self-promotion, at least for now. Maybe I'll do a bit more self-promotion later on. All right. Let me have a look into the poll real quick. I love it, 71%. Oh, okay. 71% love the design of the ASI Alliance. All right, maybe I just don't have any taste in art, design, marketing. Maybe I just don't have any taste there. But yeah, I don't. I really don't love it. Let's have another look at that. I mean, I can see it again. I like that it's very, very clean looking. I really like that, and I like this turning their symbol here in the background. But overall, I feel like there's something missing. I just feel like this oomph. I don't know what it is, but yeah, exactly that. This oomph is missing. Exactly that. Yeah. So, but yeah, 72% of you love it, 71% of you love it, and no one hates it of you. So yeah, I just don't have any taste. Okay, I am fine with admitting that I don't have any taste, but yeah, it's okay. Right? I give you that. It's okay. I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. It's okay, right? But still, for me, this is missing, whatever that may be. Good. Anyway, let's move on here into the next story, which is introducing after open-ended intelligence. Let's introduce open-ended computing, and let's talk about NuNet. And you all know NuNet, right? NuNet is basically decentralized compute, which hopefully soon we'll all be able to partake in and then be rewarded with tokens while we rent out our compute for AI models, namely Hyperon or AI agents from FET and everything from the ASI Alliance. All right, and pardon. Good. So the future of computing is here, and it's decentralized. NuNet is contributing to the charge with our innovative decentralized computing platform built on the paradigm of open-ended computing. Okay, what is open-ended computing, you might ask? Well, I asked the same, and they stated right here. So open-ended computing systems are built to incorporate new processes and functionalities continuously, right? Because when you think about how NuNet works, you have a lot of devices across the entire world, and they all give compute to the AI processes that are running in the background. And with that structure, it's incredibly easy to implement new innovative computing structures because you can just implement them like this, right? There's no barrier or hurdle. They can all easily work together. So that's also why scalability is a core feature, allowing the system to handle increasing workloads by expanding its capacity. This is achieved by seamlessly adding more computational resources, such as processors and memory, which integrate into the existing framework without disruption. What I just said, you can just easily integrate more and more and more. Flexibility is crucial for adapting to new requirements and integrating new technologies. Open-ended systems can modify the operations and structure dynamically, ensuring they remain functional and efficient in changing environments. You know, first we had GPUs, then we had CPUs, or maybe we had CPUs first and then GPUs, whatever. Then we had other processing units. Whatever next thing comes, right? If you have a centralized computing farm on which an AI model runs, which is what OpenAI and Microsoft are building right now, right? They have their $100 billion server farm that they are building. What if, I don't know, what if we achieve quantum computing, right? With decentralized compute, you can just easily stack that quantum computing together with all the other things that are already in there. With that built server farm, well, now you need to build a new server farm that is just there for quantum computing. And the old one, well, the old model was running with this old one. Now you have the new model that runs on the new one. With decentralized compute, you don't have to do that. You can just easily integrate everything, stack it on top of each other without any issues. The evolution of an open-ended system comes from the activities and contributions of all participants in the system, rather than a single center, what I just said. Open source development plays a crucial role in this process, allowing developers from around the world to contribute to the system's evolution, which also makes for way more innovation, because you have developers all around the world that can participate, right? Maybe they find more efficient ways to distribute the compute or use the compute for whatever systems. So the innovation is also a strong, strong plus here. So open-ended computing is ideal for Internet of Things environments where devices continuously generate data that needs real-time processing and adoption. In AI, open-ended computing allows for the continuous integration of new learning algorithms and data sources. This ensures that AI systems can improve and evolve, staying effective as they process ever-changing data sets. Right, data analytics, a few more things. But yeah, overall, open-ended computing represents a paradigm shift from traditional static computing models. By allowing systems to evolve, scale, and adapt continuously, it provides a robust framework for handling modern computational challenges. So overall, I'm really, really hyped about the further development of NuNet, and I'm really looking forward to when we finally can connect our own devices simple to the network. As soon as it's possible, I will connect everything I have. Well, which is basically, well, no, it's 3 things, maybe even 4, we'll see. I have my phone, I have my laptop, I have my Kindle, and I have my stationary computer. So let's see what I can connect there. I'll connect everything that I can into the decentralized computing framework. Will you too? Will you do that too? First of all, obviously, you will be incentivized with gaining tokens. But second of all, this is the part that we as a community of the ASI Alliance play. As the people who are for decentralized development of AGI, this is what we should do. This is our part. Participating in what they are doing. This is on us. That's why it's decentralized. We are all in control of that, and they need all of us, every single one of us, because decentralization doesn't work without the people. It is for the people and doesn't work without the people, okay? So always participate. And by the way, no questions today about the merger, about anything about the ASI Alliance. I'm a bit stunned because I always get questions. Usually always the same questions. Maybe I finally answered all of them. But don't hold back, right? Don't think that your question is dumb or anything, right? It's okay. I answer every question. Ask me every question that you have about the merger, about the ASI Alliance, things like that. I just get a bit, I don't want to say annoyed, but I get a bit confused when in a video where I talk about the exact thing, I get a question under the video how that works. For example, a dedicated video where I really just talk about how to swap your AGIX and your Ocean to FET. And I even show it on the SingularityDAO Dapp in that video. I show it, and I still get as a comment, hey, how do I swap? I am very confused about these kind of things. What is happening there? Are these people just clicking on my video and then commenting without even watching 1 second of it? It's just a bit confusing to me. Is my accent so strong? Is my accent so strong that people don't get it? That's the other thing that I was thinking about. Or am I explaining that too complicated? You click there, you swap it, and that's it, right? Is that explanation so complicated that you need to ask me another time in the comments? But anyway, you can ask. It's fine. It's fine. It's just a bit confusing sometimes. All right. Another thing that I wanted to show off here is nothing in particular, but Sophiaverse has made quite a couple of tweets recently. Quite a couple of tweets. And next week, Tuesday, you will get a breakdown of Sophiaverse. And man, I'm really hyped about this project. Diving into Sophiaverse for the breakdown made me even more hyped about the project and how they are striving to develop an AGI there. The AI human hive mind, teaching hyper and open world model, really good stuff, really good stuff. And here they made a lot of tweets about the guardians and the guard token, how to become a guardian. So let's quickly talk about that because I really love that concept. So within Sophiaverse, the idea is that the robot Sophia over time develops sentience, develops into an AGI and becomes more and more sentient the further the game goes on and the more people interact with it. And the more sentient, first of all, the guardians basically are the rulers. They say what is going on, what is happening, and they basically guard Sophia and Sophia's mind. And while Sophia develops and reaches milestones on her development, she herself gains more and more of these guard tokens, and thus gaining more and more control over her own mind. And if she at one point actually reaches sentience and becomes an AGI, she will gain full control of all the guard tokens, and by this gain full control over her own mind. But until that happens, the guardians are basically there to guide the development and guard Sophia on that way. So I really, really love that concept. A bit more about that on the Sophiaverse breakdown on Tuesday. But yeah, the more I learn about Sophiaverse, the more excited I get about the project. I love your accent. Thank you. As long as anyone can understand it, I'm happy. People loving it is even better. I think if you hold FET on native chain, then you will not have to do anything. Yes, that's exactly right. If you hold FET on the native FET chain, so Cosmos, you don't have to do anything. Again, because FET has a hard fork. The FET chain has a hard fork. So what happens is that the FET token, right, just continues trading as normal, and then splits up, and the FET token just gets renamed into the ASI token. So when you hold the FET on the native chain, absolutely nothing has to be done. At one point, your tokens will just be named ASI. Yes, even in Cold War, because you hold it on the chain, right? You hold it on the network. You hold it on the chain. It's still the same token. Nothing essentially happens there. If you hold it on any other chain, ERC20, so Ethereum, Cardano, Binance, whatever that is, you will have to use a merge account. But I also said this in the last video where I still got the comments, so very confused, but I say it all the time. Thank you for reminding me. This time I forgot to say it, but yes, it doesn't matter if you hold it on a ledger, on a MetaMask. If you throw it away in the ocean and can never get at it again, and no one can ever look at these tokens again, the FET tokens on a native chain will still become ASI because it has a hard fork. That means that the FET token still exists. It's still the same FET token. It will just have a different name, right? It will be called ASI then. And of course, the other tokens are getting into the chain, but it's still the same chain that it's trading on. So you don't have to do anything there, as long as you hold it on the native chain, right? If you hold it on an exchange, then it's always up to the exchange. I don't know where exchanges store their FET tokens, but yeah, it's always up to the exchange what happens there. The only thing strange is that Kraken has it also on native, but they say they will not support the change. Strange. Yeah, but then they probably just talk about AGIX and Ocean, probably, because everything else doesn't make any sense. If they in Kraken hold it on the native wallet, it will change. There's nothing they can even do about that unless they go into the fork of the hard fork. That's a possibility because, again, it's a hard fork. So theoretically, you could go into the other fork of the hard fork. That's a possibility, but that makes absolutely no sense because literally no one in the entire world will do that, right? And there's a lot of work that comes together with that. So it makes no sense that an exchange would go out of their way to implement extra work to go into the other branch. It makes absolutely no sense. So what I think they are talking about is just the AGIX and the Ocean token, that they will not merge that for you. Now, I have not read any statement from Kraken, so don't take this as what I'm saying here as what it is. But if they are saying this, then they're probably just talking about the AGIX and the Ocean token, that they will not swap that for you into the FET and then the ASI token. So that's then probably something you will have to do yourself. But if they hold FET token on the native FET chain, then there's nothing they can do, right? Okay, theoretically, yes, but essentially, it will just happen. It will just turn into ASI at one point. That will just happen. All right. Thank you for the comments and questions. As always, keep them coming. And by the way, oh no, let's jump into this here, and then I'll promote myself a little bit more again. Okay. Now I wanted to talk again about BitTensor. You all have heard about the hack, and I published a video about that yesterday, where I break down what you have to do and if your funds are unsafe or anything. But I still want to mention it here. What exactly happened with the BitTensor chain. So this is probably not important for 99.9% of you. This is probably just important for developers who are very, very deep in the BitTensor network, because there was a PyP package or something, and if you downloaded that and then did a specific thing, then the hacker had the possibility to gain access to your cold keys, which is something that most people will not have done. So if you have not done any of that, no worries, your Tau funds are safe, nothing is happening there. The blockchain has been frozen, right? It's now unfrozen, I believe. And they have created a safe wallet or safe wallets and a migration where you can gain a new key and then your funds will transfer to the new safe wallet. This is explained more in depth on a Q&A that they published. So you maybe want to watch that if this is you, if you have downloaded any PyP package and did something with that. But I think 99.999% of everybody watching me probably this will not apply for you. I still wanted to mention it because also it's not that bad as it first sounded, right? There was no big hack or anything. It was also hacker exploited something where he could get in there with a package download, okay? This is obviously very unfortunate, but this stuff unfortunately happens. But it's not as crazy as a hacker somehow could get any private keys out of there by doing basically nothing. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm still very, very hyped about the whole Tau ecosystem and what Tau is building. Again, everything that builds every project that builds decentralized AI and stands against big tech, I am a fan of. Okay. Again, fuck crypto tribalism. All right. Good. And then a question I have for all of you. Maybe it's not that important right now, but again, promoting my memberships. Yeah, you can join my channel and become a member where I talk about stuff. You get community posts. And I wanted to ask you, would it be interesting for you, for everybody here? Would it be interesting for you if I make the memberships? Because I was thinking about right now, with the lowest tier of the membership, you get community posts. With the second tier, you get a weekly live stream. And with the third tier, you basically get a private chat group. Maybe I'll cut the private chat group, but would it be interesting for you if all the membership tiers get exactly the same? Right? They all have exactly the same. And the only difference is then, if you want to support me more, you go into the higher membership. If not, you just go into the lowest one, which is totally fine as well. And your support is still highly, highly appreciated. Just asking if this would be interesting for you. So that would be then basically the community posts, live stream, and other perks. Just asking if this would be interesting for you. Let me know in the comments on the replay right now in the chat. Yeah, just wanting to feel out the general vibe around this. Good. But now let's jump into what I couldn't manage to do because of the crazy lags last time, which is a Bitcoin update. And by the way, you got the Bitcoin update in the community posts where I said I'm quite bullish actually on Bitcoin. And let me tell you why. And actually, let's get rid of all my drawings here. This is annoying. All right. Okay, let me tell you why I'm quite bullish. So I love that we drop down here first. Actually, let's go to the beginning of the month. Where does the month start? The month starts right here. Okay, it's quite annoying because as soon as I do something, all my draw, okay, I'll just jump into any other chart then. I'll just jump into any other chart then. Let me jump BTC. Yeah, chart. Okay, this one just looks ugly. Yeah, let's just jump into this one. Good. Anyway, so then I can draw. First of all, we came into this monthly fair value gap right here, right back again. So we touched on it before, and now we touched on it again. And we broke our swing low here. And I mentioned if we break this, we maybe go down lower. And we might be going down lower. If we look into our weekly here, right there. Right there, and also right here. We have a lot of liquidity. What does that mean? That means that people are long from this point here and from this point here. And here are their stop losses. Here are their stop losses. And Bitcoin loves to run out stop losses. Here was also, let me get rid of that magnet. Here was also a point where there were a lot of stop losses, right? Because this was a very prominent swing low. So people put their stop losses down here. What happened? Bitcoin ran out the stop losses. This is just what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin tricks everybody into going long and then runs short, or tricks everybody into going short and then runs long. Now, since we got kind of a sharp rejection down here, after we basically run out these stop losses here, we got a sharp rejection back up. I believe, and it looks like Bitcoin is now running for stop losses up here. So what do we have up here? First of all, we have a new fair value gap up there, which is always a good thing to aim for when trading. So this one here, it's not a very big one, but it's still there, right? And also we have stop losses up here, right? Probably all the way up here, but our first point basically would be, well, it would be here, to be honest. This would be our first point where there are really major stop losses. So again, Bitcoin loves to liquidate people and to run out liquidity. So what I would maybe think to see right now is that Bitcoin runs up, liquidates everybody who has been gone short here, then comes down again, liquidates everybody who has been going long here, then runs up again because we have even more stop losses right here, right, from the top. So liquidates everybody who has been going short here, then runs down again, liquidates everybody who has been going long here, and then shoots off. This is what may or may not happen, right? I am not a fortune teller, but this is often what Bitcoin does. Now, if we go into our daily, yeah. So mainly right now, we created a new swing low on the daily, on the weekly also. Maybe we'll even create a new swing low on the monthly. But that means as long as we don't break the swing low, I remain bullish, right? I was saying if we go further below down this, I'm very bearish. But this always just is true until we create a new swing low. Because swing lows or swing highs usually cause the price to go into the other direction. So we aggressively run out liquidity here, and then we had the chance to either keep running, but we didn't keep running. Instead, we got a rejection back up. So again, that means right now, as long as we stay above this swing low, I am bullish, and I believe we will keep running out these stop losses up here. Okay. Now to make all of this stop loss talk, let me get rid of everything I've drawn here. To make it a bit more tangible for you, let me jump into the smaller time frame here. Let me get rid of that actually. Let me jump into the 15-minute and let me show you what I did and how I traded this and how I and we also can get rid of the But I also trade days and daily candles, but more about that on my community wall, or if one point you join a live with me. But yeah, let me show you what I mean here. So first of all, what you want to look out for are double tops, triple tops, or double bottoms, triple bottoms, or even more, because you want to look out basically for classical trading patterns. And right now here you see a double top. What I do on my chart, and why my chart looks so full of stuff, is I mark out my liquidity everywhere. So this is double top. That means traders are going short here with stop losses right above there. Okay. And yes, short, it goes short, as you can see here, but traders often don't pay themselves because they believe it will keep going, right? You know the FOMO, oh, I don't want to miss a big move, so they stay in and believe it will keep going, but it doesn't. And as you can see here, there we go. It, liquidated the stop losses right over there. And yeah, I traded this. I went in, I don't know actually where I went in, but yeah, I traded. Here you have another double bottom, so definitely mark out these. And right, as you can see, I believe this is also my next target. I believe this double bottom might be my next target that I have marked out. You could also see this as a double bottom. So yeah, all around here there's liquidity. If we jump into the 5-minute, we can see that even better. All right. So these are all signals for me that I know are being run out eventually. Maybe not right away, like this one was run out right away. Like you see double bottom, yes, it goes short. So you could even trade this if you want, but I want to be on the expansion. So I go in somewhere around here. And if it drops further, I go on with very small, okay? I trade with very small amounts and I just add to my trade if it goes down further. And if not, I run out liquidity and I pay myself and I wait for the next liquidity run. And this happens also in the higher time frames. This is what I've just marked out and shown you. Dust that here is beautiful, as you can see here. This is like a triple, almost a quadruple bottom right here. So yeah, this is our swing low. So there's a lot of liquidity below our swing low. Again, if we run out this, I mean, this tells me that before we have a giant run up, a giant bull run up, right, to 150K or whatever, we will likely come back down here to run out this, because this is such a beautiful triple bottom here. Bitcoin doesn't have to, of course, Bitcoin doesn't have to. But I would assume that at one point we'll probably run out this. Maybe not. But maybe at one point. Right. So yeah, in your lower time frames, like here as well, and these are run out quite often, often quite fast. So as you can see, these are run out immediately. But when you see this, you basically want to go in on the expansion, and then you just pay yourself when it goes down. These are maybe, it looks like small moves. But if you go in, you see, oh, double bottom has formed, oh, it goes higher. I go in somewhere on the expansion, let's say here, and then you hold for, I don't know, maybe here, 0.7%, but I trade this with 100 to 200 leverage. So this is actually almost 70 or even 140%, right, that I make. So yeah, you can, and here, right, it created a double bottom and a double top here. And so you go basically into both, and I hope that makes sense to you. When we now look at what we are seeing here right now. So I'm in the 1 minute. Yeah, I see here's a lot of liquidity. So I believe you'll probably swipe this liquidity relatively soon. This is from the double bottom and the 2 double bottoms that I marked out earlier. The buffers, where's our next liquidity above? Where's our next liquidity above? We already got that one here. As you can see, double top and really ran up, binged out the double top, right here, and then immediately runs for the bottoms. And Bitcoin does this over and over and over again. So where do we have our next liquidity target above us? Yeah. Here. There we go with a double top. So this is our next liquidity target above us. So what I would do, or what I am doing, is I am waiting for Bitcoin to sweep one liquidity. And with sweeping, I mean really going through, right? This has gone in, but it hasn't gone through. I wait for Bitcoin to do this. And right here, I enter. And if it goes down further, I add to my trade when it goes down further. And where do I exit? Well, I exit once Bitcoin comes up here and sweeps the other liquidity targets that I have marked out up here. And I exit usually 75% or something like this of my position. Of course, it could always go higher, just as it could go lower. So that's why I leave a runner. All right. So this is basically how I trade Bitcoin. If you really want to go in depth into that, join the Crypto Lifers 99 trading group. Now, again, for the next few weeks, I actually see us quite bullish, and I probably believe that this candle here has a chance to turn green. Right? For it to turn green, it needs to trade above this point here and then up above. Right? If you don't know how a green candle is formed when the candle trades above opening price. A red candle is formed when it trades below opening price. So I could see this candle going above opening price at one point in this month. But let's see. For now, I remain relatively bullish. All right. Good. And that was the Bitcoin analysis update for the week. Still 7 people watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thank you for being here on a Thursday. Next week, I'll see you on Wednesday again. Yes, I'll see you on Wednesday again. Sorry for the time switches and changes. I'll try to keep it on Wednesday. On Tuesday, I have a video about Sophia Wars for you. And don't forget to jump into the big tech versus the people video and share it, please. The only time I will ever ask you, but I just believe that this video is really, really important. It can be an eye-opener for many people. So especially for people who are interested in AI and use centralized AI chatbots, this is a video for them. Share this video with them. That would be amazing, and I love you for that. And on your way out, don't forget to hit the like button, and I see all of you next week. Have an amazing rest of your day. And yeah, I'll see you. Bye, guys.